Spider-Man and the Great Museum Heist. Part 1. The Quiet Morning. Peter Parker stretched his arms and looked out over the city of New York. The sun was just rising, painting the skyscrapers in bright shades of orange and gold. It was a beautiful, peaceful Saturday morning. Finally, Peter whispered to himself, taking a bite of a warm piece of toast. A quiet day. No supervillains, no runaway trains, just a nice, relaxing weekend. But Peter spoke too soon. Suddenly, his spider sense began to tingle. It started as a small buzz at the back of his mind, then grew into a loud alarm. Something was terribly wrong. He ran to his window and looked down at the streets. In the distance, he heard the faint wailing of police sirens. They were all speeding toward the New York Science Museum. Peter didn't hesitate. He threw his toast onto his desk, rushed to his closet, and pulled on his iconic red and blue suit. He slipped the mask over his face, adjusted his web shooters, and leaped out the window into the crisp morning air. Thwip! A strong line of web shot out from his wrist, sticking firmly to the side of a tall building. With a mighty swing, Peter Parker was gone. Spider-Man was on the job. Part 2. A Golden Problem. Spider-Man soared through the sky, swinging from building to building. He loved the feeling of the wind rushing past him. Within minutes, he landed with a soft thud on the roof of the Science Museum. He crept toward a large glass skylight and looked inside. The museum was a mess. Display cases were shattered, and security guards were trapped inside giant green blocks of sticky slime. Standing in the center of the main room was a huge, muscular man wearing a thick, high-tech suit. It was the Rhino. He had a giant horn on his head and was stomping around, causing the floor to shake. Next to him was Dr. Octopus, a brilliant scientist with 4 giant metallic robotic arms growing from his back. Doc Ock was using his metal claws to tear open a heavy steel vault. Inside the vault was the museum's newest treasure, a glowing golden asteroid that had fallen from space just last week. "Hurry up, Rhino!" Doc Ock yelled, his metal arms snapping impatiently. "The police will be here soon, and I need this space rock to power my new laser machine." "I'm going as fast as I can," Rhino grunted, kicking a heavy marble statue out of his way. Up on the roof, Spider-Man tapped his chin. 2 villains at once? On a Saturday? Come on, guys, give a spider a break, he joked to himself. He knew he had to act fast before they got the asteroid. Part 3. The Spectacular Entrance. Spider-Man pulled back his fist and smashed through the glass skylight. Crash! He dropped through the air and landed gracefully on top of a giant skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. "Hey, Doc Ock! Hey, Rhino!" Spider-Man shouted, waving his hand. "You know, the museum isn't open yet, and besides, I'm pretty sure you forgot to buy tickets." "Spider-Man!" Doc Ock roared, his eyes narrowing behind his goggles. "You are always ruining my plans!" "Get him!" Rhino bellowed, shaking his giant horn. Rhino lowered his head and charged forward like a runaway freight train. The ground rumbled under his heavy boots. He ran straight toward the T-Rex skeleton. Spider-Man waited until the very last second. 1, 2, 3, jump! Flip! Spider-Man did a spectacular backflip off the dinosaur bones. Rhino slammed directly into the T-Rex display. Boom! The giant skeleton collapsed right on top of him, burying the angry villain under a mountain of fake dinosaur bones. Rhino shook his head, completely dizzy and trapped. "That's one down," Spider-Man laughed, landing on the floor. "Your turn, Doc." Part 4. The Four-Armed Fight. Dr. Octopus glared at Spider-Man. "You think you're clever, boy? Let's see you dodge this." Two of Doc Ock's metal arms shot forward like giant snakes. Spider-Man's spider sense screamed. He leaped to the left, narrowly missing a heavy metal claw that smashed into the floor, leaving a deep dent. The other two metal arms swung from the side. Spider-Man ducked, slid under a display table, and bounced back up onto his feet. Dwip! Dwip! Spider-Man fired two webs straight at Doc Ock's goggles, blinding him. "Ah, my eyes! I can't see!" Doc Ock yelled, waving his robotic arms wildly in the air. One of the arms accidentally swung backward and hit the heavy steel vault door, making a loud clang. Spider-Man used this moment to run to the security guards. He used his web shooters to spray a special dissolving fluid onto the green slime. "You guys okay?" he asked. "Yes, thank you, Spidey. Watch out!" one guard yelled. Spider-Man turned around just in time. Doc Ock had ripped the webbing off his goggles. He looked angrier than ever. He grabbed a heavy vending machine with two of his mechanical arms and threw it right at Spider-Man. Part 5. Teamwork and Tangles. Spider-Man didn't have time to jump out of the way. Instead, he shot a massive, thick web net between two pillars. The vending machine hit the web net and bounced right off, landing safely on the floor without breaking. "Missed me!" Spider-Man cheered. But suddenly, the ground began to shake again. Rhino had broken free from the dinosaur bones. He was covered in dust and looked incredibly mad. "I'm going to squash you, bug!" Rhino screamed. Rhino charged from the left. At the exact same time, Dr. Octopus lunged forward from the right, all four metal arms open wide to catch the hero. Spider-Man was trapped in the middle. He stood perfectly still. He closed his eyes and listened to his spider sense. Tick, 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 went the warning in his brain. The villains were getting closer and closer. 10 feet, 5 feet, 2 feet. "Now!" Spider-Man shouted. He jumped straight up into the air, doing a massive leap all the way to the high ceiling. Smash! Because Spider-Man wasn't there anymore, Rhino and Dr. Octopus crashed directly into each other. Rhino's giant horn got tangled up in Doc Ock's four robotic arms. The two villains fell to the ground in a huge, messy heap, shouting and arguing with each other. "Get your metal arm out of my face!" Rhino yelled. "Move your giant horn, you fool!" Doc Ock screeched. Spider-Man hung upside down from the ceiling by a single web thread, laughing. "Wow, you guys really know how to tie yourselves in knots. Let me help you stay that way." Thwip, 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 thwip. Spider-Man fired dozens of webs, spinning around the two villains like a top. Within seconds, Rhino and Doc Ock were completely wrapped up in a giant, unbreakable web cocoon. They couldn't move a single inch. Part 6. A Hero's Reward. Just then, the front doors of the museum burst open. The police officers rushed inside with their flashlights ready. They stopped and stared in surprise. Rhino and Doc Ock were safely trapped in a giant web. The golden asteroid was safe inside its vault. The security guards were waving and cheering. Spider-Man dropped down from the ceiling and landed next to the police chief. He gave a polite salute. "Morning, officers. I left a little present for you. Just make sure to feed them some lunch. They seem pretty grumpy." The crowd of people outside the museum began to cheer and clap. "Hooray for Spider-Man! Thank you, Spidey! Just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man doing his job," he called out. Spider-Man ran toward the broken skylight, jumped through it, and shot a web into the bright blue sky. As he swung away into the beautiful morning, he smiled under his mask. His relaxing Saturday was ruined, but he didn't mind at all. New York City was safe once again. The end.